Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lower Beachman Theater. Before we get started, we'd like you to take this time. Please turn off your cell phones and any electronic devices that could cause a disturbance. We also ask that you refrain from any flash photography to not interrupt this evening's production. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Lower Beachman Theater is proud to present Alan Simon.
Go back home, but the home that I long for ain't down on the Swanee. It ain't on the shores of the lakes of Kalani. I don't want a home where the buffalo roam. And as for the Lone Prairie, you can have it, I don't want it, it's too flat for me. There's only one place that I long for, and that's what I'm singing this here song for. I want to go back. Hey, to my home there, back to Brooklyn. Whence I first came from. I want to see once more that little old home next to the subway station. I want to see once more that little old school where they learned me my education. Take me back to Brooklyn, where things was always good. That's where I always should have stood. Take me back to Brooklyn, USA. Ah, dear Brooklyn, how could I ever forget thee? You know, people say we got us from Brooklyn Park Farm. They say we ain't got no diction. But I failed to see how we guys from Brooklyn are probably no different from anyone else who talks decent English. People used to talk with them, but now the improvement is astonishing. Now, it's true that in Brooklyn we ain't got none of the natural wonders like some of them other places. We don't know nothing about flowers and trees and nature. I remember I was a kid, and I walked in the park with my uncle, and I seen some flowers, and I said, "Hey, Uncle?" And he said, "What?" And I said, "What kind of flowers are these?" And he said, "How should I know? What am I, in the millinery business?" Yeah, it's true that in Brooklyn we didn't go in much for nature. We didn't raise apples and oranges. What do we know about watermelons and grapefruits? We were more into cultivating tomatoes. And the girls, they were beautiful. I'll never forget the first girl I ever fell in love with in Brooklyn. She was beautiful. And her name wasn't one of those names like Myrtle or Gertrude. Her name was Dorothy. She was lovely, Dorothy was. She was sweet 16 and kind of chubby. She weighed 180. She was 5 feet in any direction. She was the perfect kind of girl to be in love with. You see, the way she was built, no matter where I sat in the classroom, I was right next to her. But ours was a sad romance. I was at that awkward age. Too young to get a job, too old to be a juvenile delinquent. So our love could never be. But I'll never forget her. No, Brooklyn! Yes, I've seen the Taj Mahal. It's a picture no artist can paint. But Taj Mahal, Shmaj Mahal, Flatbush, it ain't. Take me back to Brooklyn. Ah, take me back to Brooklyn. Take me back to Brooklyn, USA. Now you know I come from Brooklyn. I grew up with relatives who lived around the corner or off a nearby subway station. My parents showed their love for their family circle with food. Lots of it. They threw some kick-ass parties for birthdays, Thanksgivings, Passovers, from which no one left hungry. My mother's turkeys were always fresh. She used to go into the supermarket and she would tell me, "Alan, darling," I'd walk into the supermarket, I'd poke holes in 2 or 3 butter balls, and I sniff the insides. Well, one day, the butcher, so the story goes, was looking at her, and he yelled at her, and he said, "Hey, lady, could you pass a test like that?" Those turkeys! Well, look who's here! I haven't seen you in many a year. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake. Bake the cake, bake the cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? And if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the potato. Sooner or later, I'd have baked that potato. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the potato. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Well, I don't know where you came from, 'cause I don't know where you've been. But it really doesn't matter. Grab a chair, fill your bladder, and you're gonna be right in. If I knew you were coming, I'd have ordered some bagels. When I set the table, there'd be plenty of bagels. If I knew you were coming, we'd all be eating bagels. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Turkeys! Mom and Dad were not outwardly affectionate toward one another, but one night after a Thanksgiving dinner, I was walking the guests back to the subway station, and I walked in on them, and they were dancing. 1, 2, and 3, rock. 1, 2, and 3, roll. They did the rock and roll waltz. Rock, 2, 3, roll, 2, 3. It looked so good to me. I love the rock and roll waltz. Years later, I came in on them having sex. But that was far less impressive. Exactly. The maestro at the piano, Joshua Stephen Fox. I was a typical working kid. I was one of the guys that hung out on East 19th Street in tennis court. Stickball, punchballs, baseball, sewer-to-sewer bases. I tried, I strived, and I had my glory moments. Even back then, I knew the size of our bats was all that mattered. Saturday summers, when I was a kid, we'd run to the schoolyard, and here's what we did. Pick out the captains and choose up the teams. Always a measure of my self-esteem. Who's the strongest and fastest played shortstop and first. The last ones they picked were the worst. I never needed to ask. It was sealed. I'd take my place in right field. Play in right field. Easy, you know? You can be awkward. You can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Playing right field can be lonely and dull. Little leagues never have lefties who pull. I dream of the day they would hit one my way. They never did, but still I would pray that I'd make a fantastic catch on the run and not lose the ball in the sun. Then I'd awake from this long reverie, and I'd pray that the ball never came out to me. There in right field, there's nothing to know. You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Sometimes I dream I was Mantle or Mays, hitting out home runs and making the plays. But they were so graceful and they were so fast. They never batted last. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. Don't know the inning, I've forgotten the score. The whole team is yelling, and I don't know what for. Then suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering, what could it be? They point to the sky, and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. Playing right field, it's important, you know? You gotta know how to catch, you gotta know how to throw. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Welcome to Alan Simon Discovering Girls! Yes, years later, I'm still discovering. Turns out the more you uncover about women, the more there is. And while no fly ball, no matter how artfully caught, can ensure athletic ability, the language of love definitely includes hitting a home run. When Johnny Jones was celebrating marriage, he showed a quote a lot of poetry, but he would much rather tell her what he learned in his spelling when they both attended P.S. Turkey Tree. A, you're adorable. B, you're so beautiful. C, you're a cutie, full of charm. D, you're a darling. And E, you're exciting. And F, you're a feather in my arms. G, you look good to me. H, you're so heavenly. I, you're the one I idolize. J, we're like Jack and Jill. K, you're so kissable. L, it's the love light in your eyes. M, N, O, P, I could go on all day. Q, R, S, T, alphabetically speaking, you're okay. You make my life complete. V means you're very sweet. W, X, Y, Z. It's fun to wander through the alphabet with you and tell you what you mean to me. Oh yes, it's fun to wander through the alphabet with you and tell you what you mean to me. And there's nothing like the dreadful mornings of being with your favorite tomato. Saturday night at 8 o'clock, you know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick my baby up and take her to the picture show. Everybody in the neighborhood is dressing up to be there too. And we're gonna have a ball just like we always do. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture we see? When you're hugging with the baby in the last row of the balcony. There's Technicolor and CinemaScope, the cast out of Hollywood, and popcorn from the candy stand makes it all seem twice as good. There's always lots of critiquers who figures they don't try to hide. But they never can compare to the girl sitting by my side. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture we see? You're hugging with the baby in the last row of the balcony. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby in the last row of the balcony. Well, I was working on scoring. Death intruding suddenly, uninvited, and ended childhood. in a house in Reseda. There's a poster held up by two males and a candle. It's my daddy, the actor, about to die with his boots on. He's the man standing up there beside Errol Flynn. He got third or fourth billing at the end of each picture. Well, that don't mean much, he'd say, the grin. But he held my hand tight as he pointed his name out. Only 4 or 5 names down below Errol Flynn. Now fame is fleeting and stars they keep falling and staying right up there. That's the business of art. And luck kisses some and she passes by others. Disappointment and bourbon are hard on the heart. Now the women and beers and the years with old Errol, they took their toll and took me from his side. He kissed me goodbye at the old Union Station. It's the last time I saw him. It's the last time I cried. Now I'm sitting alone in a house in Reseda, watching the late show as the moonlight shines in. And up on the screen, well, here comes my daddy. It's a sad, funny feeling. Now I'm older than him. So you daddies and daughters, you sons and you mothers, remember life's over before it begins. So love one another and stand close together, as close as my daddy to old Errol Flynn. Might make a difference to the human race. I was looking for something to fill my soul, and as much as I wanted to honor my dad's wishes, I would have lost my mind if I had gone into teaching full-time. So what did I do? I stayed stoned for the next 5 years. And then I went into acting, looking for a family who wants to be a man who belongs to nobody. I auditioned, and I was cast, or not. Too short to be a leading man, too tall to be a Radio City elf. Robert Frost did write in settings beautiful and rustic. He wrote of rolling hills and green terrain. For me, I must do my writing in the chaos of the city. Sometimes even on a subway train. How am I to ever learn about the woodlands and the falling leaves of autumn and such things seem odd when I must spend all my time just trucking around this dirty city, doing what I can to earn a dime. How did Robert Frost make payments on that little country place of his? Where did he get the dough? Could he go down to a country store and sell a poem saying, "Here's a nice one I wrote about the snow"? Surely now he must have had a sponsor of some sort. Perhaps a lady friend, all rolled in bread. A lady friend to say, "Now, Bob, why don't you take a long, long walk whatever pops into your head. She probably said this. She said, Bobby, don't you worry about the mortgage. Bobby, don't you worry about those bills. Bobby, why don't you go out and write a poem about the neighbors, about the fences and the rolling hills. Bobby, don't you worry about those dishes. Don't you even think about those pans. Bobby, you know it's not right that an artiste like yourself should go walking through this world with dishpan hands. So you see now Bob was free to follow through his fancies, wandering through the hills behind the mules. If I had Bobby's life, I know I'd follow through my fancies. To be in Bobby's shoes. If I had Bobby's life, I could be a hero. Go out and find my fortune and my fame. The only trouble is, I hear from people who have found it. Everything in life stays just the same. The same. The same. It stays the same. It's just the same. It's the same. I drifted. A substitute teacher, an acting coach for kids, a waiter. I sucked as a waiter. I was fired 4 times in one summer. Then, suddenly, it was January 6, 1982, and my mother went into a nursing home. On January 15th, I began therapy, and on February 1, I started OLE! On location education.
Yeah!